You guys are basically a party of adventurers. You guys have known each other for a while. You've traveled several times together, and the party knows that ages ago there was a tower that stood as a bastion against banditry and marauders. Civilization has long since retreated from this area, and a band of goblin thieves have taken up residence in this ruined tower. The local woodsfolk beg you guys, which are, you are from the local town, you're passing through, and they're basically asking you to rid of all of the evil in this tower. And the town is basically, it's like a logging community. And this logging community is just being decimated. I mean, they're not able to. Basically, wood production's totally halted. The goblins have basically taken a lot of the supplies. They've broken a lot of the equipment, and they're actually starting to work into the actual loggers' town as well. So now they're trying to fortify the perimeters of the town. And so as you guys are traveling through, they're looking for your help, and they point you to the direction of the tower, which is probably about 1.5 miles away. And you guys are here at the tower. There's a it's an old ruined tower as well. You can tell that there is not even a roof on this tower. And story goes, and the legend goes, this used to be a multiple level tower. It used to be 10 stories at one point, back when the tower was sort of like the pinnacle of the old civilization that was in this area. And like I said, over time the civilization was forgot about, everything fell into ruins, and the last thing standing was this tower. So there's several stories left of it. It is in pretty bad shape, but the goblins don't care. It's theirs now. They've moved in, and it's theirs for the taking. And now the logging community wants them gone. They want their asses gone. So that's why you guys are here. You work past the moat. You're able to. The goblins definitely know you're here. They were firing arrows at you. You guys were able to avoid all the damage. You're able to get across the moat, and you've basically got into the first door. And now you're at this point. And this door you've checked already. There's no traps. We'll say that the rogue has already done a check. No traps, and I'm going to open up this door for you, and this is what you see. May the Schwartz be with you. This is going to be fun. I'm just logging back into the game right now, so. Alright. Alright, so as you enter the tower, some goblins loudly argue while standing around a table covered in playing cards, while others dips its mug into a boiling cauldron along the western wall. Toward the rear of the room, there is a huge, massive block from the sagging ceiling that is smashed down onto the floor. A hobgoblin stands near a gong. A set of stairs on the eastern wall goes up to the next floor. Now I'm going to give you several features of the room as well. And you notice that to the east there is a large set of stairs that is going up, that is heading up into darkness. You also notice that this place is illuminated. You can see several torches on the wall, and you can see that the ceiling is sagging in the back of the room, but it is 20 feet. And there's also one other thing that you notice. You notice the cauldron on the west wall, which is this unique thing here, does have a mist pouring out of it as well, and that's the goblin that you saw dipping the cup into the cauldron to probably get something to drink or test it, and as the door burst open, the goblin drops the cup back into the cauldron. And last, you see that there's at least a dozen goblins and the humanoid that are in this chamber. There's a lot of foes here. So let's go ahead, and you guys are not surprised. They are not surprised. You both knew each other was here. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. And how you do that is you target your token, and you just hit when you target your token, the list of macros should pop up towards the top of the sheet. And you can just hit the initiative macro, and it will roll it for you automatically and throw it in the tracker. So I'm gonna need to roll for these goblins, so just give me 1 second, gentlemen.
Always a roll initiative for me.
Let's see, my initiatives are basically 5 and 3s. What a way to start you guys off with at least a dozen creatures, huh?
That's a lot of dudes.
I like those ones though. Keep rolling those ones.
Getting those ones out early, it seems.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, he just needs to roll those all day.
Yeah.
Right.
Dave, which column am I supposed to look for like, con and wisdom modifier?
Well, when you're attacking, you use the stat that the card requires, and well, it's a d20 plus the stat plus the half level as well. Seeing that you guys are level 2, you do have a 1 half level now, so that is a mechanic in D&D 4. But what I tried to do was, on your character sheets, when you guys scroll down to the actual weapons, you'll see that it says to hit and damage. I tried to base that off of your attacks, because usually all of your attacks are based off the same stat. So your bonus hit is pretty much everything that, between all of your class features, any proficiencies, your stat, your half level, all of that is already calculated in. So all of that should be okay for your primary stat. Alright, so looks like we've got quite a few things in this tracker. Did everybody get into the tracker? It looks like we got 5 into the tracker. There's 6. And it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 creatures. That looks about right.
Yay.
Alright, wow. And you'll notice that some of these goblins have bows, especially all of the goblins that are in the center of the room, heading towards the back where that fallen section of roof is. You can tell that they are wielding bows and crossbows, and primarily just bows. Well, the hand crossbows. So, all right, you can set your map to about anywhere between 80 to 100%. I mean, that'll be plenty of visual representation for you. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start. And the first goblin up is this guy right here. And he's just wielding just your normal, typical goblin type of short sword. And he does move in. And seeing that everybody is in these first two blocks here, who would usually be the first in line? Probably the fighter and probably the paladin.
Very true. Very true.
No, I'm
I
hanging
agree.
in the back. What are you talking about?
We'll say that Warnerv is right here, and we'll say that the paladin. Warnerv the paladin is on the right, and we'll say that Gim, you're on the left with Rack, and we'll say that that's how you guys burst into the area, even though there's you have a moat behind you and everybody else is just itching to get in. So, all right. Wow. Yeah, you guys got a lot of goblins here. Alright, so this first one attacks you. And let's see if he hits Warnerv. And the first attack is a 14 versus armor class, which I'm pretty sure that's a miss.
That's totally a miss.
Alright, so next up is, you see from the north, especially Rack and Warnerv, you see a goblin come from around looks like the back of the stairwell, and he does lower a hand crossbow towards you and fires. He is well within the range of the hand crossbow, which that is a 10. So, but he's close, but still within range. So he will fire. He's going to fire upon Warnerv as well. And that is probably a hit at 25 versus armor class.
That is a hit.
Alright, so you will take a flat. You'll take 4 damage. Alright, next up is Lovo. And Lovo, you'll be able to make any kind of attack because of line of sight issues. You'll be able to basically attack anything in the 2 rows that are directly in front of you, because you are kind of behind the fighter until you guys get more into the room. So, but I will allow you to shoot directly in front of you. So where would you like to fire? Just if you don't know how to ping on the map, you can just hold down the left mouse button on a target or anywhere on the map, and it'll ping the map. Just in case you guys didn't know.
Alright, so I cannot hit this guy at the corner of the stairs?
Sure, I'll let you hit him. He's
Alright,
in front of you.
That's the guy I want to attack. I'm gonna take up the aspect of the dancing serpent.
Okay. Very nice. Using the aspects. I like that.
Attack with my longbow.
Alright, so that is a 17 versus armor class, and that is a hit. Yep, that's definitely a hit. So you can go ahead and roll your damage. And what did you use your... What attack did you actually use? Did you just use just a regular ranged attack?
Yeah, just a regular ranged attack with the longbow.
Sounds good.
What is on the bonus damage? What is the +5 solo versus the +4 mean?
Well, that means that if the creature is solo, and meaning that there's no creatures in a square adjacent to him, so that is actually a solo creature. So you will get a +5 bonus instead of +4. So you can do your damage, which will be a 1d10 +5, and all of the one more thing that I forgot to show you guys are all the macros. They're basically universal macros. So you can click on the the 10, and it'll ask you how many dice. You just put 1 in there, and then your modifier is a 5, and then it'll roll. So like just rolled a 10 plus 5. So it's a 2-step macro, but it makes sense. It's just a two-part dice query macro.
Alright, so with my aspect of the other plus 1, 6.
Your mic is messing up. It's sort of like squealing and cutting you off. Yeah, your total damage will be 1d10 plus 5.
It would be plus 6 with the aspect, right?
Yes, if you're using the aspect correct, which you are. So
12 damage.
All right. Yeah, this guy, you put an arrow directly between the eyes of this goblin as he's running for you, screaming towards the group. Nice shot, direct shot. Killed him. 1 shot, 1 kill. Very nice. Alright, so let's see. We have this goblin here. He is actually he's gonna retreat a little bit. He's gonna hold steady. Alright, Warner, what are you doing?
Oh, let's see. Minor Defender Aura.
Alright. Go ahead and put your aura up, sir.
Okay.
I love that aura.
While in the aura, any enemy takes a -2 penalty to attack rolls. When it makes an attack, it does not include among its targets either you or an ally of yours who has the aura active. And he's in my face, so I'm going to attack him.
He is up on your grill, man.
Yes, he is.
And this goblin barely has a grill.
I'm going to use Strike of Hope.
These goblins are eyeing you guys pretty good. They're wanting to put you in their cauldron. They're wanting
19.
They're wanting to cook you. That's a connect. That's a very nice hit on that goblin.
And that's a 1. Flat 5 damage.
All right. He too. You crush right through his defenses. He puts his short sword up to try to parry your blow, but your strength is just too much for him, and you basically go right through his crappy rusted sword and basically kill him 1 shot.
And I'm going to give the fighter 3 temporary hit points.
All right. So one more thing, guys, is there's the 3 bubbles on your head. The 12. Well, I'm sorry, the blue bubble on the left-hand side, those are the amount of healing surges that you have. The red bubble in the middle is your temporary hit points. So, Rack, you were just given 3 temporary hit points. So, you will take those away before you start using your normal hit points. But you've played with me before, so you already know that.
Got it.
So, alright. Alright, so let's see. Next up is the rogue, and you can pass through targets. So if you want to go into the room, feel free to.
All right, cool. Is there like a flat-footed state in 4E?
There is not. Nope. There is no flat-footed. There's a mechanic that the rogue gets that you can basically have combat advantage on any target that hasn't acted yet, which would be a +2. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So
but
it's
yeah,
kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it sort of is. Yeah, it's just not called flat-footed.
I'm gonna go ahead and move into the room here.
And as you guys are moving into the room, especially you, Feanor, you notice that directly ahead as you're scouring throughout the room, looking at your targets and noticing where everyone is. you notice that towards the back of the block you see a sort of like a pair of dice fall down on the floor, and then you hear a little grunt squeal, and you see a hand come out from behind and pick those dice up real quick. And then you see another goblin stand up back there. They've been gambling.
Wall?
They've been gambling. So yes, if you go through now the one thing about 4th edition and what I do in my games, if you move through a target with a dead corpse, that basically costs you 2 movements instead of 1 movement. So just to let you know. And then I'll also signify if there's any other, like this square back here. This would be considered difficult terrain because of all of the rubble from the caved-in ceiling. So that's just to let you guys know. Alright, so see the Feanor's moved in, and you can get your bonus to that goblin because he has not had an attack yet.
Alright, that's what I'm looking for.
I believe it's the thief weapon tone, I think. No, it's not. Trying to see what it is. Or is that the ranger that gets that? I don't know. Go ahead and take your attack, man.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drive my dagger right in his chest.
You guys got a little bit of room to work with to kind of get yourselves into the room. A 15 versus armor class is a miss. Close. He's able to actually take his daggers and parry your attack away. Kind of catches you off guard for a goblin, actually. All right. Anything else? Any free action or minor action?
No, that's it.
All right. Another goblin. This goblin here behind the table stands up, throws his cards onto the table, curses a few expletives, and he moves and readies to engage the rogue.
Damn! I had a winning hand too.
Yeah, that's basically what has happened. Grumbles something about finally a good hand, and now he has human scum in his presence. Alright, so 12 versus armor class on the rogue, which is a miss probably. And that will be it for that goblin. Towards the northern section of the room, a goblin pops out from around the corner behind the stairwell, well, behind the staircase, and launches an arrow towards the paladin. And the hand crossbow misses with a 13 versus armor class, so that's it for that goblin. Next up is the dead one that has already been killed. Have another goblin here. It is his turn. He is basically pulling out his bow, his hand crossbow, and moving back into a strategic position on the steps. And he is going to fire on Rack. So the miner to pull, load, fire, movements on Rack. And that's a 23 versus armor class on Rack the fighter. And you take a total of 5 damage from the crossbow bolt. A crossbow bolt, actually you didn't even see it coming, lodges into your shoulder like a little miniature dart. Pow! 5 points of damage. Alright, now you're up, Mr. Dritston, the cleric.
Awesome. I'm going to... let's see... I see a goblin over here. Alright.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to use Brand of the Sun. By the way, you said that the roof was broken down. Can we see the sky from here?
No, you can't. No, there are
Okay.
stairs going up to another level, it seems.
All right.
And you can't see behind the stairwell as well. So I've got dynamic lighting set up on this map. So
Okay.
that's why there's that slanted black line, because you can't see behind what's this, that goblin popped out. So
Gotcha.
love dynamic lighting in Roll20. It's great.
It is really nice, yeah. I'm gonna lift up my warhammer and just kind of try to smash him with it. Praise the sun, kind of all stuff.
That sounds good. You're asking your deity for battle influence. Yeah, your deity, which is, I believe it's Pelor. Yeah, Pelor did not
Pelor.
answer you.
Yep.
Yeah. Did not answer you. So next up
He's
is
my cool Pelor.
you
whatever
dumb
dwarven accent
bitch,
sounds like.
Pelor. You did not help me. All right, so
Pelor,
now
help me.
this goblin back here in the very back of the room, where the roof is starting to sag, that's where you saw the goblin stand up. As you saw that those two dice come out from behind the corner. Well, from behind that rock, you saw that hand. Now he has popped up, and he is launching an arrow. He's going to launch an arrow at the rogue, actually. And he critical fumbles. So that is it. He forfeits the rest of his encounter. Well, his turn for this round. And that's it for him. Zantag, you're up now. Mr. Druid and Snots.
Alright, Morgan, you want to fight? I'm coming.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Hold on there, Rat. Not your
Hold
turn.
on.
Zantag, you're up.
He does not have turns.
And of course, Snots is going to move up right there. Of course, growling at the paladin, who's blocking his way. And he's going to attack that thing, that goblin in front of him.
Are you going to move in the room as well, or are you going to stay there? Because you can move in if you want.
I'm going to move in one spot to
Okay.
get a good look.
Yeah, the rest of the room opens up for you, and there's a lot of goblins here, man. And the big hobgoblin in the back, barking commands at everyone.
Okay, like I said, Snots is going to attack that goblin in front of him.
Good old Snots. I love that name.
Now, if I'm doing this right, it's level +5 versus AC.
Oh, for the attack for Snots?
Yeah, it says
Let's see.
your level +5 versus AC.
Yep, that's to hit. So to attack is which you have to have a creature adjacent to you. 2 + 5, so 7 versus AC. And that's definitely a hit. Old Snots charges in there and jumps on that goblin and basically rips his throat out. Let's see
Hey,
your
you're not the
damage.
dwarf. You're not allowed to burp.
Wow, that goblin must have a piss poor armor class.
Well, you rolled a 23. That's not a piss poor roll, so that's pretty nice roll for level 2. So go ahead real quickly and roll your damage, and we'll see if